What's up, everybody? Brylee here, and I'm going to do a college football prediction. Now, I haven't done one yet. I've skipped 5 weeks just to get an outlook on everything. I mean, there's a lot of undefeated teams, and I'm just going to go ahead and do the best teams. Actually, I'm just going to predict the best teams, the best games of the week. So, Air Force and Navy. There's not much of an explanation here. Air Force looked very good against Michigan earlier in the year. They're playing pretty nice. I mean, they're doing pretty good for a military academy. So Navy, they have a really good run attack, but I just think that Air Force in this rivalry will take care of business. So we'll just skip past. All right. Boise State and Ole Miss. I mean, wait, that's not even Ole Miss. I thought that was Ole Miss. My bad. All right, Mississippi State and Kentucky. Mississippi State will probably take care of Kentucky easily. Northwestern at Penn State. Well, Penn State is remarkably overcome their bad times with the Sandusky junk and all that bad stuff going on there. But they've really stepped up in the past weeks. They crushed Illinois. Northwestern is really good right now. I just don't see Penn State beating Northwestern. I think Northwestern will take care of Penn State. Michigan State will kill Indiana probably. Arkansas will get crushed by Auburn because Arkansas is terrible still. North Carolina and Virginia Tech will be a really close game, but I still see North Carolina coming up on top despite the fact of their problems. Anyways. I'm trying to make this very quick, because I'm not going to just have a thorough explanation for everything, because then we'd be here all day. Virginia and Duke. Virginia will probably win that one, if I had to say. Okay, TCU at Iowa State. Oh, that's actually a pretty good game. I still see TCU coming up to beat Iowa State. TCU is a really good offense this year. Louisiana Monroe and Middle Tennessee. Now, this is going to be a game that a lot of people are going to miss because Louisiana Monroe is a little college and so is Middle Tennessee. But let me say something. Louisiana Monroe beat Arkansas, almost beat Baylor, and they almost beat Auburn as well in overtime. They took them to overtime. But Louisiana and Middle Tennessee this week actually, crushed. I mean, I swear, they completely killed Georgia Tech. I think it was 49-28 or something like that. That was pretty bad because Middle Tennessee, not many people talk about. I mean, these two teams, they're little, but they're big. I mean, but I see Louisiana Monroe with Colton Brown, and they're going to just throw on them. I think that they'll handle it. Louisiana State and Florida. LSU and Florida. I thought about this for a while. You look at LSU, they handled Towson barely by like 12 points. They didn't do good against Towson. They did terrible against Auburn. They haven't looked good this year whatsoever. Florida, I think Florida will do it. I think Florida will pull off the upset over LSU. That's my upset pick this time. Illinois and Wisconsin, well, Wisconsin's going to win that. Oklahoma and Texas Tech. Okay, good offense, decent offense versus good defense. They say defense usually wins, but I think Oklahoma will beat Texas Tech this week. Just my opinion. Georgia Tech and Clemson. Clemson will win that, obviously. Michigan and Purdue. Purdue's looked pretty good. I don't know what's going on with Michigan. Denard Robinson has been pretty bad. I love Denard Robinson. He's a really good guy and everything, but I'm gonna say Purdue's gonna win it. I'm gonna go Purdue, actually, believe it or not. Washington State or Oregon State pull off 3 upsets in a row. I think they'll take down Washington State easily. Georgia, I'll go to that one later. That's the best game of the week. I'll go back to that one last. Vanderbilt, Missouri. Vanderbilt will beat Missouri. I think so. Texas A&M and Ole Miss. Texas A&M actually gets their second test of the year with Ole Miss. I think Texas A&M will get past Ole Miss, though. I think they can handle it. Miami and Notre Dame. All right, this is a good one. Notre Dame's really been stepped up. They've been, they're not a championship contender yet. They haven't proved anything to me, but I think that they can handle. I think Miami could actually handle Notre Dame pretty good in this game. Keep it close for a while, but Notre Dame wins it. Florida State, now this is a good one. North Carolina State and Florida State. I see it being close, but I see Florida State winning. Nebraska and Ohio State. Oh yeah. Let's see. Ohio State. I think Ohio State, they did good against Michigan State. I think they'll handle Nebraska pretty decently. All right, last two games besides the big game of the week. UCLA at California. UCLA has been upsetting. I mean, they beat Nebraska. That made me happy. And then all of a sudden, they get beat by Oregon State. And then you're just like, it's the same old UCLA team. So, I don't think they can beat California. I think Cal's done really good this year. I think Cal will win it. Oregon and Washington. All right. Washington upset Stanford. I think they can do it against Oregon. I'm pulling it. I'm pulling off the upset. Washington will beat Oregon by like a field goal. So, I mean, I'm going to get hate for that, but I think that's a really, really good upset. All right, so we'll go to our last stadium. Our last good one right here. So, Georgia and South Carolina. We know how good South Carolina's played. Oh my gosh, have they played good. And we know how good Georgia's been playing. Georgia's 5-0, South Carolina 5-0. Georgia looked a little shaky up against Tennessee. They did score 51 points on Tennessee, which is always impressive to score that much on a SEC football team. But and then you look at South Carolina, how they played against Kentucky. They were down 17-7 at halftime. And I thought there was going to be an upset again. I thought Kentucky was going to beat South Carolina again, but they didn't. They ended up pulling off a 35-0 run in the second half. So Georgia's defense has not lived up to what it was supposed to be. I mean, they've made plays when they needed to make plays. The fumbles and the interceptions against Missouri, the fumble against Tennessee, and the two interceptions against Tennessee were huge. And then you look at South Carolina's defense. They are playing really good right now. They have stopped the run. They have stopped the pass. They're handling it up pretty good. But they haven't faced an offense like Georgia yet. They haven't faced a Todd Gurley. They haven't faced a Keith Marshall yet. And they most definitely have not faced an Aaron Murray or any of the type of receiving core that Georgia has. I think they can slow down Georgia, but not too much. Now, South Carolina's offense, Marcus Lattimore, hasn't been all that great. I don't know how he's still a Heisman candidate because both of Georgia's running backs have played substantially better than Marcus Lattimore by far. But Marcus Lattimore is Marcus Lattimore, and you know what he can do, and he can always he kills SEC teams. Connor Shaw, he has been a surprise. He has been really great this year. Man, I think that he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league. I think that he could really win. I think that South Carolina could get carried on Connor Shaw's shoulders this year and possibly even win the game just because of Connor Shaw. But, okay, so if you think about Georgia, you look at how many points a game Georgia's 48 points a game for Georgia. South Carolina, like 18 points a game. It's not been a great offensive year for South Carolina. I'm going to have to say that Georgia takes care of business. I'm going to say Georgia 27-24 over South Carolina. It's going to be really, really close. I just don't see South Carolina pulling it out against this Georgia football team this year. I think Georgia will go on to win the East as well. And I'm not saying this just because I'm a Georgia fan, because I absolutely hate Florida and I pulled the upset off. So, I mean, I'm not an absolute just pulling for Georgia. I want it to be a good game, but I don't see South Carolina staying in the game with Georgia. I think it'll be close, but I just don't see them hanging on to it. So, thanks guys for watching. Please tell me what you guys thought about my picks. If they were bad, tell me. If they were good, tell me. All right, goodbye.